All right. Atlas SMP next. Let's begin with checking if everything's good here. If everything's good, we'll go ahead and begin. Waiting on Morton to say we're good. Alright. Well, first thing is first. Welcome to the Atlas SMP Next Showcase, where we'll be talking about not only the Atlas SMP Season 1 content, but we will also be talking about the future content, the project that I have working on in Fortnite, which will not release for quite some time, and then we have the other things, but mostly Atlas SMP. But we'll get more into the other content that I'll have to talk about here. But Atlas SMP is the main focus. So, starting with what y'all have voted for. Me and Morton have been cooking a lore or a storyline that isn't too deep. I want it to be something that everyone can kind of twist and turn in their own way. There is going to be a main concurrent storyline that follows through the main world, but people can weave in their own lore into that piece that they find. So, for example, if a player finds a book describing a character and its attributes, this character, let's say his name is John the Cow, and John the Cow is described as a 10-foot large, extremely large cow with horns the size of a villager house. You could take that and make that a character in your lore and be like, well, my ancestors have come across this cow creature and tried to slay it, and were not successful and died. Something like that. So you can kind of twist things a little bit, kind of play with the lore. I don't want this lore to be insanely serious. There's probably going to be, obviously, some serious moments. If there's not a serious moment in the lore, then obviously, no one's going to take it seriously. But I do want people to kind of, like, mess around. Joke around a little bit. It's supposed to have fun. So, the lore is, it's me and Morton have been kind of figuring out how we can make it not too different from the lore that we used to do back in the older SMPs. Morton and I have both been rewatching the old live streams. I'm almost finished. Morton is finished rewatching all of them. I think I'm like 5 or 6 episodes away from being done watching. I mean, it's super long though. They're like almost every episode's more than an hour, so it's really difficult. Sometimes I'll skip around though. I don't know if Morton fully watched it all or he skipped around, but we've both been trying to just kind of get some answers as to what went wrong in the other SMPs. And we have definitely found what people enjoy, what people don't enjoy. Lore was not the most prominent thing in the Order SMP, so that's where we were like, okay, lore was a little bit of the issue, but as it was just a rather ripped off storyline that we had just grabbed from something which isn't what everyone wants. So just, you know, that's fine. We'll go ahead and we're gonna cook ourselves some other lore that people can twist and turn. So what we did is we grabbed Morton had suggested that we come up with our own kind of like a Dungeons and Dragons story, where it's kind of like you have, or Warhammer, where it's your character, you are living in the experience, and you are just that. It's just you living in a world far, far away from other worlds, where there are Minecraft creatures, but also made-up creatures that we are gonna come up with. And obviously there'll be some other stuff that we use from other add-ons, which we'll get to eventually as a topic. But the lore is supposed to be funny, so we're also trying to come up with ways to make things where there's a god that his son is, oh, I don't want to say the R word, but everyone knows the R word, so he's that. He's an E-tard, if you will. So, and he's like, this isn't actually a part of anything, but just as an example, there's a god, his son is stupid, we'll just go with that. He's stupid, and I'm not saying that we have Greek gods. We are making up our own stuff. There's no Greek gods, no Norse gods. They are just gods. No, we're not doing anything like that. Fortnite is doing their own thing right now, so it'd be kind of a little bit weird if we were like, okay, we're doing a Greek god season, guys, doing a Norse god season, or whatever. No, we're not doing any of that. I'm not touching mythology. If anything, this is my own mythology, the Minecraft Atlas SMP mythology. Don't get the wrong idea. So, yeah, like I said, there's a god, and his dad, or his son, is an idiot. He's stupid. He unleashed, we'll use the word Pandora's box, although that's what every turn people say, you've unleashed Pandora's box, or whatever. It's not Pandora's box. It's not an actual box called Pandora. It's box. Just a metaphor. And he did something bad. He opened up, and some creature or whatever is here to demolish the lands of Minecraft. So we're just kind of, everyone is going to have their own imagination with this SMP. Perfect example. I'll just call you Joker. Perfect example. I'm basically just using my imagination. Could not get, I don't know why I didn't think of that. I could have just said that. I'm basically just using my imagination. Everyone's using their imagination when they're playing this. Maybe I'm the idiot. So, yes, everyone's just using their own imagination. You get to do whatever you want as long as you're not blowing people's bases up, saying, haha, it was actually God Julius. God Julius blew up your house. I didn't do it. I don't care if you saw me blow it up. I didn't do it. It was King Julius, or God Julius, not King Julius. God Julius did it. But, you know, just use your imagination. It's whatever. What I don't want to see people's lores be like. For example, I do not want to see... Okay, we're gonna get a little weird here. My god is the penis god. Let's not do that. Let's not do weird crap. Let's not plagiarize as well. Let's not plagiarize any lore. If you're gonna plagiarize, kind of like twist it. Make it your own somehow. Change the characters' names. Change how they do things. Like if you're gonna do Darth Vader, do something about him. I don't know. I don't know what you would do, but do something about it. So the store, to just kind of conclude things with the lore, it is just your imagination, but there is a level of my lore and mine and Morton's lore that is the main lore, the main continuity, the main storyline, canon. And if I find that, you know, someone's lore actually makes sense to implement somehow into the main storyline, sure, I would be down to do that. If someone wanted to collab with the lore and be like, hey, can I do this and it be canon to the main storyline? Yeah, sure. As long as it's nothing about the penis gods, we're okay. So, that should be enough with the lore. If you guys have questions about the lore, feel free to ask them. So what this whole thing is about, it is all about Atlas SMP, and I'll be answering any questions about the Atlas SMP, even if we haven't even brought up the topic about something yet. Throw it out there. So now let's do just in general talk about what the Atlas SMP is about. So originally, we'll talk about what it originally was going to be first. So the plan was that we were going to have the title be Hard Life SMP. And the Hard Life SMP was going to be set... it was going to have honestly, the lore wasn't going to change. We had the lore ready. I think Morton and I have probably had the lore ready for about honestly, I think before Season 2 of Fortnite Myths and Mortals came out. At least Morton had the thought. There was probably the leaks or whatever, but that doesn't matter. Once again, this is not a Greek mythology season. There might not even be any gods in the lore. Might be kings. I was using that as an example. No one get anything in their ideas. I'm not telling what the lore is yet. Just a exclaimer out there, okay? So yeah, Hard Life SMP was going to be a hardcore SMP. You were going to Where's my words? Hard Life SMP was hardcore based. If you died, you had to wait for someone to revive you, basically. But here was the catch. The person that was going to revive you had to be either your faction member, and if you were not in a faction, it had to be a moderator or an admin. That was the catch. It couldn't just be some random player. But then I had found out an issue, 2 issues technically. First one was the first thing that happened was I was notified by an SMP member that an SMP had already been doing that idea, and I had no idea. So I was like, that's not good. I don't want to feel like I'm copying someone's SMP. So frick. Then the second thing happened, which was Bedrock version was not going to fully have what Java has with Bedrock, where you could just turn on cheats, and if you did want to go ahead and come back to your world, you could, even though it was hardcore. So Bedrock isn't getting that for a while, and we still weren't getting hardcore till after May. In May, June. So either way, we would still have been, this SMP probably would have been probably June, maybe even July, and that just would have sucked. So we just kind of scrapped the whole thing. We're like, we don't want to copy anyone's SMP. We also, you know, can't have cheats, so if you were dead, you were just dead. Who cares about how long you were in this world? You're done. So that was an issue for sure. But what this SMP is going to entail is what we're just kind of looking back. What was good, what was bad. Order SMP had good lore. Only issue, it was definitely, you know, we had our own ideas. We twisted things, but it was about Kang the Conqueror, which is a Marvel character, and honestly, I'm kind of tired of that character because I had him in SMP, and I'm kind of tired of him in Marvel in general. So if anything, why would I have another SMP about a Marvel character? Holy frick. That absolutely, I about pooped my pants. I pooped my pants. That scared the crap out of me. I think there's a truck outside that is really loud. I legit thought it was an earthquake. I thought Godzilla was here. I legit thought I was about to see Godzilla stomp on me. Stomp on me, Daddy. Wait, okay. Stop. So I can't even continue until this sound goes away. Okay, it's going away. Okay, we're good. Okay. Alright. So, the whole idea was we were gonna, once again, you know, grab some stuff from the order. Spawn was janky. It was super simple. Cheats were off, and that was enjoyable. But in order for me to do things that I really want to do in this, I do want to have cheats. Especially if I want to do some form of commands or anything else, I'm gonna have to have cheats. Once again, I'll be most likely every time I'm on, I will probably be streaming this. I will not be on it if I know I will be getting off of it soon, like whatever, if I have to get off at a short amount of time. I will not be on it, because then obviously that'd be one really short stream. So I will not be doing that. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and be doing something with those cheats either way. And it'd be great. It'd be the greater good for the SMP that if we do have cheats. Anyway. We also had. We didn't have this in the order SMP, which I don't know why I didn't. It was towards the end of the Caves and Cliffs SMP that we had this. But it was, you know, because it was towards the end, it wasn't really used much. So I'm curious now, if I brought this to this SMP, what would happen, and that is the Battle Pass system. Now, I'm not going to call it Battle Pass. Fortnite, COD, every single game under the sun uses Battle Pass. So, I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. Morton has a few ideas what we could do with it. It would be something that, like, hey, you have to purchase this so you can get these rewards. But in order to get these rewards, you have to do certain quests in order to get these rewards. Something like that. We had a quest board back in the Order SMP Season 4. That actually was quite... I think it went pretty well, actually. You went to do certain quests. It was like it was kind of like Fortnite snapshots. You get rewards for doing certain quests, but they're storyline quests, so connected with things. So that was pretty cool. But I could definitely see that we do we're definitely doing a Battle Pass like system. I don't know exactly how we're doing it still. I will figure that out. It'll definitely, I think it'll be launch content. It'll 100% be day one launch content. That's guaranteed to be launch season 1 content. We'll probably do new battle passes each season or something like that. I don't want to continue calling it Battle Pass. Morton, come up with the name fast. I don't want to call it that anymore. So yeah, the features that we will have within day 1. We did some polls on our Discord. If you want to join the Discord, it is linked on my channel bio, I think. If it's not, tell Morton. He's in chat. Day 1, you will be in a forced faction. Now, what does that mean? Now, back in the Order SMP beta, only a few people will remember this. Because we only had, was it 4 or 5 people in that? We had Treeless Hog. We had XVX. We had Colt. We had Neo. And we had me. Geez, maybe 6. And Sickmaid. Okay. So yeah, 6. We had 6 people in there. And then they had moved over to the actual Order SMP Season 1. Which a majority of people remember that because the beta is no longer... I deleted all those a long time ago. And they were just absolutely useless because we didn't want that anymore. I don't know. But back then, we actually had a similar thing. It wasn't exactly forced factions. We didn't even call it factions. I think we called it divisions. And basically, what we were doing was, if you had 2 emeralds, I think it was 2 emeralds. Yeah, there was two emeralds in there. There was 2 diamonds in there. I think 2 copper, and then we kind of just kept pressing a button, and if you got an emerald, then you were in the emerald division. If another person got that emerald, then boom, he was with you. He was forced to be with you. It was the same way with the diamonds and the whatever else we used. We're gonna do something a little similar to that. Hit a button. It'll say it's not gonna say like a specific faction name. It'll just say faction 1 or faction 2 or faction 3. So yeah, Morton has all that info ready, so we'll just do that right away, day 1 of the SMP as well. And basically, if you get faction 1 and the other person gets faction 1, you're in a forced faction. So and then you two basically decide who's gonna lead the faction, who's gonna be a defender, who's gonna be a, like, you guys kind of gotta figure out your roles as to what you will do in that faction together, and then you'll tell me the name, the color, and all that. I was thinking we would probably do like a same way with how we did before. You pick your armor trim color as well, and that would be specific. You would all have to, probably something like that. Yep, I was always orange. Orange is my thing. Also, coming day 1 will obviously be add-ons. I haven't been doing anything. Obviously, I've just been flying around, I can't multitask. I can't build and also be building something I haven't built before. Building something entirely new without anything, without any pictures, and then also talking about stuff I don't have written down. It's really hard for me. So I will sometimes be trying to build something and also be trying to communicate about everything coming. So yes, add-ons. As you guys can see, we will have a few add-ons. As of right now, you cannot get rid of or remove add-ons. Not possible. Yeah, it's kind of sad, but I understand. You can't build, let's say, out of the poisonous potato block. Right here, like, yep, that's where I want that. And then be like, actually, I don't want this add-on. Go ahead, remove it. This ain't gonna, it's probably really hard to be like, okay, we gotta remove those blocks that they place with the add-on. It's very difficult to do, I would assume, which is why it's not our thing. So I'm not upset about it. But the add-ons that are coming, day one, we will have another furniture add-on, computers add-on, gravestone add-on, sparks portals add-on. Okay, I'll stop saying add-on. Everyone knows add-on. Naturalist, rolled utilities, mob armor, XP crystal bank, and we will vote if we want the poisonous potato block. Right now it's in this world because this is just a test world right now. I'm not actually probably going to work on anything in this world right now. A lot of the stuff that I have to build is actually confidential right now. Even spawn is, because it is a lore-based spawn, and I don't want that to be revealed right now. So basically, I'm just going to be kind of like flying around talking, which is why I was thinking I kind of wanted to like probably be on Fortnite in building something in my mini BR or something. But it's alright, we'll be on this world. It's fine, no biggie, no biggie. Yeah, we will vote if we want the poisonous potato add-on in here as well. What is it? Is it actually just called poisonous potato add-on? It is. Which we'll actually kind of just look at the features that are in here right now, like, for those who want to know while we're talking about stuff. So, that is basically the info. One thing Morton is telling me is wants me to discuss into more detail about the hard life a little bit. Hardcore mode will play an essential part, as everyone knows. If you die in hardcore, you're dead for good. But in hard life, all it takes is for a player to deposit a totem of undying at your grave, then boom, you're back to life. So that is the info so far on what I've got. I'll edit the plan in the planned seasons tab, everything about the SMP. So the next thing we're gonna go ahead and talk about is structures. So, as everyone knows, we have always done lore structures in basically every SMP we've done. We have done, what was the building? Was it called Building 21? That I remember a lot of people enjoying. Yeah, Building 21. I remember there was it wasn't a lot of people because obviously I think it was a little after school, then people were kind of not ready entirely, which is okay, obviously. School. Probably should have done it at a different time, but I didn't. It's okay though. Yeah, Building 21. I don't know if we'll actually do something similar. We could do something similar. It wouldn't be called Building 21. Doesn't make sense, but do something similar to Building 21. As I really did enjoy that as well. Took a long time to make though. So far I think we have a locked date on when it starts. Frick. No, we don't. So it looks like, when should the Atlas SMP open? On Discord, the poll is is tied. April 20th, April 27th, and May 4th. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and create one more, and I'm just going to remove one of them. Okay, here we go. Let me go ahead and do this one more time, and it's just going to be 2 answers. Okay, we've got, let's see, where are we at right now? We're on, it's April 1st. Okay. Yep. And we'll do that, and we'll do... Alright, new poll. There we go. Alright. So, Morin, you are the tiebreaker. When will the SMP begin? It's official. He's never answering. April 20th is when it will begin. Unless delays. We'll see. I don't think there'll be any delays. But I do have a lot to build. So, let's see. So, yes, structures. That's what we were talking about before I got distracted. Structures will obviously play a very small part in the lore of the SMP. Yes. You heard that right. Structures will be very small and very limited. There will be not that many structures. But there's a catch. There will not only be structures, there will also be, if you want to count these as structures, then we'll go ahead and I'm not going to count them as structures. Me and Morton have clarified that these are a separate branch. But if you want them to be structures in your mind, that's up to you. But to me, these new features, we'll start with the first one. Escape rooms. So escape rooms are going to be obviously filled with loot. Each one of these things, the structures will still have loot in them and lore in them. Escape rooms are going to have loot and lore. And then mini games are also going to have lore and loot. So it's basically like we're just expanding upon the title of structures and coming up with more things to tie into the structures, which is why we separated it, so people know when's the new structure. Okay, the new structure is has been built for the lore. Okay, we'll go to that later. Then they can also ask, when's the new escape room? When's the new mini game? So it just kind of adds a level of description. People can identify. They don't have to just say structures and be like, which one? Type of thing. That's why we separate it. So escape rooms and mini games, all filled with loot. Structures will be. I will say, structures will be bigger though. I don't want people to be like, oh, but are the structures going to be like really small, and that's it? No, they will actually be big, massive, huge, if you will. They are going to be big. So, expect there to be a lot of loot. We're talking big, like so big that honestly I want to say bigger than the what's it called? Damn it, I can't even think of the name. Deep Dark City thing. Deep Dark City, whatever. Ancient City, that's the name. Bigger than that. Oh, they're quite big. Morton, that's why Morton said that we probably should do a May release still, but at the same time he said that's why April 27th was in his book, but it's alright. I think April 20th should be okay. We should be good. If we have to delay it, we'll delay it, sure. It's whatever. Oh, I shouldn't have to, but I mean, if I have to, I do. So, let's see. Yeah, structures. Excited to work on those, obviously. Not on stream. Be a bad idea. So, on our next list of topics for Alice SMP next, we are going to discuss the gameplay features, which we did kind of talk about a little bit. We talked about a battle pass system. Damn it, Morton, where's my new title for that? We were also talking about kind of like add-ons and those types of gameplay features. But the other gameplay features that I would like to discuss are some answers that might be needed. Are we doing bosses? Are we doing custom weapons? Are we doing just anything that isn't in Minecraft? Faction wars, PvP arenas, stuff like that. Yes, 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 and yes. So, hopefully that answers those questions about gameplay features. Obviously, we already talked about add-ons. Here's the next thing. This one, I don't think will take long to talk about, but we're going to talk about it anyway. Player-driven pacing. Every SMP, the motto has always been, wait for everyone else to be ready to go to the Nether. Wait to go to the end. Wait to go to to fight the Wither. Wait for Netherite. Wait for Diamond. Wait for Stone. Just kidding. We've never waited for Stone. But today we are. I'm just kidding. We're not. Stop. But we are. No, we're not. So, we are going to have a player-driven pacing, which basically means go at your own pace. Do things at your own pace. If you feel like you want Netherite, go get it. If you feel like you don't want to get iron right away, don't. It is truly up to you how you want to pursue progression. There is only two things that we are not allowed to do unless everyone is ready. And I mean everyone. Ender Dragon and Wither. Those are the only two. For the first time, though, that only includes the first time. The first time we fight the Ender Dragon is the first time. If you want to fight it after, go for it. Same with the Wither. We all fight that for the first time together. If you don't want, if someone doesn't want to, then obviously we'll all, it's whoever wants to go. By the way, just in case anyone was wondering. So the main thing is when everyone's ready, we fight. We fight the Wither. We fight the Ender Dragon. That's how it'll be. Otherwise, go at your own pace. Next thing we'll have to talk about. Morton, we're not talking about the deep story yet. Let's see. Enemies galore. We'll talk about that. So, the difficulty. The difficulty will be, and always will be, in peaceful. In hard mode. We are only playing in hard. Now, that might, raise some eyebrows. But there will be only some situations where we will go into normal. And only normal. We will never go below easy. We will not go to easy. We will never go to peaceful. Whoever said that before, you're an idiot. We're not. We're not going to peaceful. Martin, shut up. We're not going to peaceful. I know you would like peaceful because you suck. But we're always staying in hard. The exceptions to going into normal, there's only two. When we're fighting the Ender Dragon, and when we're fighting the Wither. Now, here's the other exceptions that we'll bring in as well. We are actually going to probably do a poll. on the Discord. If everyone's if it will be, do we fight the Ender Dragon in hard, or do we fight it in normal? It'll be a poll, so it'll be down to the community that actually decides that. But though that I did want to bring that up though, about we could be going into normal for Ender Dragon or Wither boss fight. But you know, depends on the players. So now we're gonna go ahead and talk about the launch content. We already kind of talked about some of the launch content: add-ons, forced factions, bosses, stuff like that. That'll all be released day one. The second you load in, you could go fight a boss. You could go buy the battle pass. Are you gonna have enough for the battle pass day one? Maybe. Maybe not. Next thing I want to talk about for launch content that I have not talked about though is, can we raid villages? Can we raid certain structures right away? Villages, the only thing you can take from the villages is the crops. The only reason I should see the composter missing is if there's another composter somewhere else. But if both composters are gone from the farms, we're gonna have some problems. Another thing you cannot take, I'm fine with one of the bells being taken there. I think there's usually 2 bells at the villages. There's one at this one at least. There's 2 at this one. But if you want to take one of them, go for it. But there should always at least be 1 bell. So there should always be 1 composter, 1 bell, and the crops should always be replaced after you have taken them all. So otherwise, villagers, if I see that, you know, there's a lack of villagers, might have a problem. If you want to take a villager, take it, breed it, bring 1 back in advance. Eventually, bring 1 back. I don't want to see the entire village gone in 1 day though. So if like down the line, you know you're ready to make a villager farm or whatever, take 1, breed it, or I think you have to take 2 actually. I'm being stupid. But whatever, do that. I don't care. As long as you bring back 1 or 2 villagers as a gift to the village that you've taken it from. Now, if the village is like 2,000 blocks away, and no one's ever going to go there, then honestly, probably do whatever you want to that village. It's your village, probably, if you live 2,000 blocks away from everything, or 3,000, whatever. Just kind of do your own thing with that village. Now, we're going to go ahead and talk about, I think we have about 3 more things left to talk about for Atlas SMP, and then the rest of the stream will be talking about the last 2 other topics, which are the MMORPG or Project Zero that we have, that I'll be working on in Fortnite Creative, and I think Morton is going to be helping as well work on the project. I'm not sure though. Then there will be another thing, which is the surprise that we'll be talking about, which is a thing that no one knows about as well. So we're going to talk about the future of the SMP. What will be coming in the future, or what's going to happen. So let's go ahead and start with the worst case scenario. SMP dies in a week. Very simple. I will either end it, be just completely done and don't care. Or I will somehow try my best to revive it. Or C, it is simple. It doesn't die. I guess there's also a D if you want. We'll go with D. We won't actually. No, there's no need for a D. Never mind. But you know, that is just the worst case scenario. The other thing, the SMP will have many seasons, but I am trying to make sure that the seasons are not a month long, not 2 months long. At best, 3 months would probably be a fair case. If people feel like that's too long, we could go less. If people feel like that's too short, we could go more. Season 1 is basically a trial and error. That's why I don't care if it does feel like it's dying, because it could be that,